Yo, what's up, everybody? I am back. This isn't a review video for Horror Month. No, this is a video for horror movies that you should check out for Halloween season. Um, I was out in the store the other day and I picked up some new movies. And I got a new game, the new Kingdom Hearts game, which is it's alright, but that's not important right now. It's a decent game. I'll put a review of that some other time. Um, This is the movies that you need to check out for Halloween. Now, the first one. I'm gonna start this one off right. Now, these aren't in any order or anything. I just like to stress that this is just the order that I just put them all on top of. Now, I'm gonna start this off right in the right way. And this movie that you haven't seen yet, it's Life Force. Yes, Life Force. About vampires from outer space that don't suck your blood. They take your life force out of you. Like they go, like sort of like that. And the lead vampire chick is extremely hot, and extremely hot, and I mean, wow. That was the worst thing I've ever done. Anyways, this is a pretty cool movie. Like it's not like extremely scary. It's not like alien scary, but it is kind of freaky, and it's a good film if you just sit back, relax, and watch it. And it's directed by Tobe Hooper. So the next movie is, definitely going on the right track. Definitely going on the right track with this. Going on the right track with this. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, not that crappy remake, which I know a lot of people stand up for, but I just can't stand it because I thought it was too boring and it was too stupid because it was all it was a freaking bloodbath, and like this one would actually terrified you in other ways. I love this movie, and I know a lot of people like the remake more than like I know my girlfriend likes the remake more than the original, which made me mad, but you know, who cares? She's also a fan of Twilight, so what do you expect, you know? I'm not gonna probably get all I hate for not liking the remake, but I watched it twice, and I was just like, I couldn't get into it. My one buddy he's a big fan of movies like me, he told me that the remake was good. I watched it, and I was like, I don't find it that good. He was like, alright. But anyways, this is a must-have. This right here, this Steelbook edition, the best edition of any movie right here. The special features are awesome. The movie is awesome. It's not a gore fest by any means, but it scares you in other ways. This is horror. This is what you watch on Halloween. All the lights off, and just let it just sink in, and you'll know. The next one is, this movie's kind of underrated, but I love it because it's a good remake. It's one of the few remakes I can actually watch from beginning to end without turning it off because I think it's stupid. But this one's actually great, and I loved it, even though the first time I watched it I hated it, and then I rewatched it twice, and then I was just like, this is a good movie, and so I had to buy it. It's The Hills Have Eyes remake. Now, this is a good movie. I remember in my previous videos I said that I didn't like this movie. I take that back. I freaking love this movie. Now, I'm not going to say it's better than the original, or it isn't, because I just don't want to do that. I don't want to start going on that stuff right now because, you know, I'm talking about this movie. I'm not talking about the original. I'm talking about the remake. Now, what shines about this movie is it's just made to be brutal, which I know a lot of you are going to say, what about what I said with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Well, you see, this one was actually fun to watch, and the brutality was actually kind of cool to watch. It was kind of realistic, but also kind of unrealistic in a sense. And it's also more, kind of gives you more, like, it's more thought-provoking in a sense. No, it isn't, but you know what I mean. This is all around just a good, fun movie. When that one guy dies from, I'm not going to give this away, but you know, the guy on the tree, and then yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Deaths like that freak me out. I can see people getting impaled and stuff like that, but with death scenes where people getting, I can't stand it. Now, this movie gets crapped up upon also. A lot of people find it too violent or whatever, but I say, screw you. 30 Days of Night, one of the best vampire movies to be released recently. This is the best vampire movie to be released in the 2000s. I don't care what anyone says. This is an awesome movie. It's violent. It's a lot of fun. The graphic novel was amazing. The spin-off books were amazing. This is all around one of the best vampire movies ever made. A lot of you may be like, well, what about Let the Right One In? Well, that's good too, but this just takes things to a whole new level. This is one of the coolest movies ever made. I like how it's directed. I like the characters. I like the build-up. I like the death scenes. It's just an all-around great film. And plus, Sam Raimi was involved in it. He helped produce it. And we all know, Evil Dead. Groovy. Now, this is another movie I know you all haven't watched. It's one of my personal favorites of the time period. It's the Tingler. Now, a lot of you probably haven't seen this movie. I wouldn't be too surprised. This is all around a great fun film. Now, it's not like scares all around horror. It's just like kind of an idea kind of horror film where the thing that kills you is you being frightened. So it's kind of like when you're watching the movie, you get scared, but you also don't want to be scared because you know you might die. This is all around a great film. Vincent Price is without a doubt my favorite actor of all time. He always has been and he always will be. I highly recommend picking up this movie if you can find it. It's definitely not going to be expensive. It's an all-around great film. William Castle made it, so what do you expect? Now, I already know everyone saw this movie already, so I already did a review about it, so I'm not going to go into it too much. It's The Last House on the Left. This is all around a good film. The original, I didn't like the remake too much. It was decent, but, you know, I just didn't like it. Great film. It's definitely a good horror film, even though like it's more of like a gang film than it shifts into horror. Which maybe some of you noticed that. If you do, tell me. But I might be the only person who saw that. But anyways, this is the unrated edition. Now, I'd like to see unrated. Now, I'd like to stress that this isn't one of those unrated edition where there's like blood and guts sprayed all over the place. No, this is just unrated as it's more violent and it shows a bit more than what you'd expect. And yeah. Now everyone's just gonna be like, now with this one everyone's gonna tell me like, well, of course you're gonna show that. Of course, that's so cliche. Well, it's a good movie and it deserves to be on here. The Exorcist. Now I remember watching this and this frightening me to death. I was like, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, oh my god. I was a young child at that point, and still watching it today, it still freaks me out. This is all around the best in the series. There's a lot of sequels. I never saw the second one because I heard so many bad things about it. I saw the third one, which it was good, but it should not have been called Exorcist 3. And I saw both of the prequels, which they're both decent. They're okay. I'm not going to give them too much credit. And I saw Exorcism of Emily Rose, which has nothing to do with it, but I'm just saying, which was an alright film. Anyways, definitely show this to your friends. Like, the weird thing is, not a lot of people I know saw this movie. Weird. Now, this is another movie that gets crapped upon a lot, and I don't understand why. It's a good movie. It's the Blair Witch Project. Everyone's just saying, oh, the shaky camera angles, and I was just like, the camera's not that shaky. Compared to Cloverfield, that's shaky. This is a really well-managed camera, and, like, it's just it freaks you out. Just, like, the ideas of the movie just freak you out. Like, I don't want to ruin anything, but because, like, I know some people might not have watched this yet, but this is a movie that shows what you don't see is scarier than what you do see. This is definitely a very scary movie, and I was like, wow, like, watching it now, it still gave me goosebumps. I highly recommend checking this movie out if you didn't. If you already did and you didn't like it, give it a second chance. I did that with a lot of movies. Now, I'm not sure how many people saw this movie. Carrie. This is a good movie. I love this movie. It's one of my personal favorites of all time. I just like the build-up, and it's kind of more of a drama that goes into a horror movie than a full-out horror movie. This is all around a good movie. Carrie is one of the coolest characters in movie history, and also in book history. I liked the book too, but they did change things a bit. Now, the only problem I have with this, it's just something on the cover right there. John Travolta, he's barely involved in the movie, and they put him as like a major character. Like, he's involved in it, but not in like every single scene. So it's kind of stupid. Anyways, this is part one of I think it's gonna be 2 parts. Um, I'm gonna do these 3, and there's also gonna be an additional part 2, but that's gonna be a different